Hi, I'm Dirk. My wife and I own Soulcraft Goods, and this is our workspace. So everything is thought out. The height of the workbenches, the depth of the workbenches, how everything is organized in different sections, and even some of the pieces of art that aren't helpful for leatherworking, but I just like to look at because I am in here so many hours a day. All right, this is our press area. This is a clicker press we got. It's straight from Cowboy. We got it factory direct. It has HDPE 3/4 inch, and then this is some of the old stamps. That's a wood burning one. This is an actual like ink stamp, and we just keep some of our old stamps in there. We use this heat embosser to imprint our footballs, and football leather needs to have heat opposed to this one, which doesn't need heat because football leather is already embossed, so you actually have to use heat to kind of burn through the dimples on the football. This is a cheap arbor press that we got. Works great. We have magnets here that hold our two main stamps, and this is just a piece of 1/4 inch metal that we use. It works great. It's strong enough to not punch through. So this here is a Harbor Freight 9-drawer rolling workbench. So the bottom is miscellaneous. It's like old patches, tools, extra stuff, thread we don't use, stuff like that. This is pre-cut classic totes. This is pre-cut everyday totes, which are two of our handbags that we sell. These are bells, which is a women's clutch. These are notebooks, already pre-cut. This is straps of the thicker leather that we use for handbags and journals. This is Wicked and Craig wallet leather scraps. This is a drawer I called second string tools. We have all these tools out on the main workbench, but we have better versions. Literally second string tools. These are all corded tools. This is a Dremel, heat gun, engraver. This is where we keep our clicker dies. It rationally goes below the clicker press. We only have 6. That's all we need right now. Some of the game used NFL footballs are here. This is kind of just used for everything that we need to access quickly. Anything that doesn't have to be on the workbenches, I don't want on the workbenches, and the same goes with the floor. I do not want anything on the floor. The only thing on the floor is wheels, table legs, and the trash can. That's it. I want to be able to sweep, I want to be able to mop, and I want to be able to grab all the extra pieces of thread that we inevitably cut hundreds of times a day. So this right here is our edge finishing area. We have hand tools, we have our edge finisher and our sander. Underneath here, we have a small shop vac. It's 3-gallon, 3.5 horsepower. It's Walmart, it's Hyper Tough brand, and it's connected to the sander. We have auxiliary scrap bin. We have football scrap bin. As a firefighter, I'm partial to this. You gotta have one of these in the shop. You never know. There's lots of things that are plugged into a wall, and if something goes wrong, pass, pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. These are Boss Stitch 36-inch office lamps. They're not very expensive, but they work really well for getting into small spaces. Lighting is really important when you're doing really detailed work, and we have 3 of these in the shop, and they're lightweight, they're super adjustable, and they can pretty much hit any crack, any crevice that you, and any angle that you need them to. Slowly building this out for measuring tools. This is kind of auxiliary. This isn't our main workstation. This is our main workstation. It has all the art, all the sentimental things, obviously our brand, and then holders for the main tools. Trash cans under here. Some of the order fulfillment is stored under here, boxes. This filing cabinet, I really like how small it is. We don't really need one larger than this. Sandpaper. Most people don't even know that sandpaper is used in leatherwork. It's used tremendously in leatherwork. Actually, the nicer the leatherwork, the more sandpaper you're going to be using. This has pins. The next drawer has all of our old templates. All kinds of custom work that we don't have on the website that we've done in the past. We've been doing this for over 10 years now, so we have literally hundreds of templates to use for old AirPod cases and wallets and keychains. This is stuff for the business. This is like receipts and tool manuals and stuff like that. We have some finished products here, and then order fulfillment and hats below here. All our hardware is organized in this tool organizer. It's all labeled. I'm trying to maybe think of a better system besides just like reading the painter's tape, but it works fine for now. Just made a video about this hammer. This hammer is my favorite tool in the shop by far. I may never need another leatherworking hammer. It is a Gador Combi Plus R 247H, and then the face shape is 30 millimeters. Sometimes when I come in here, I just grab it off the wall and just feels good. So anything that we are stamping, imprinting, punching, rivet setting, all that, it happens right here on this piece of granite. If we are gluing, or we have a large batch of wallets that we are organizing or edge beveling, that's gonna be all laid out in this area. We also cut strips and straps from sides in this area. It's really long, the leather can hang down here, and then we use this straight edge with this tool, which is the Stanley 99. It's just a classic box cutter, and that's why the strap cutter's here too, because this is where we cut straps. Above here, it's kind of random. We have some finished products, footballs, some sentimental things, NFL footballs, football wallets ready to be cut into panels. It's not full, and I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be overflowing. You need a lot of tools to do good work, and you need a lot of tools to make a lot of different products, but I don't want to have the maximalist approach to it. I don't want to have everything hanging from the ceiling. We have plenty of cool stuff in here. We have plenty of things hanging, but I don't want, if there's an empty space, it's fine. I'm okay with this white space. I'm okay that there's no tools here. I'm okay that there's not just tools on the whole thing. I don't need that many tools. I like that it's empty. All right, a couple more things over here. This is a trash can, a hard bottom trash can that I use for our old blades. I don't want to be putting blades in a trash can and have a trash guy take it out and cut himself open. So try to be cautious of that. That's something I picked up from the fire service. We always have sharps containers for needles and things like that. This is a Craft Tool Pro Stitch Master. We got it straight from Tandy, but the actual company that makes them is Sailrite. It's just branded for Tandy. I don't think Tandy makes these anymore. It's the only automatic sewing or electric sewing machine that we use, that we've ever bought. It's really simple, it's really small, it's portable. I've taken it to craft shows and stitched things there. It's a powerhouse. It has a speed reducer on the bottom, so you have a lot of control and power, and it does everything I need it to do. I want to go over the measurements of some of the aspects of the shop, because when I was building this out, it was really hard to find, like, how tall do I want the workbenches, how deep do I want it, and that kind of thing. So one thing that I found is that I never really need a workbench that's deeper than about 24 inches. And I really wanted a workbench height that was able to be sat at, and that I could stand and not feel like I was bending over breaking my back. This drafting chair was actually the first piece of the shop that I established, because it's really the foundation of the whole thing. I don't want to be standing 8 hours a day, but I also don't want to be sitting 8 hours a day either, so I wanted to be able to have that option. The work height is 40 inches. I tried 42, it was just a little tall. I also had to take into consideration that there's going to be other people in the shop. I'm 6'2". If my wife was in here working on something, that would be really hard for her to have any leverage on like a long strap cut or something. My apprentice also happens to be 6'2", so that's fortunate that really this shop is built out for somebody of his same height as well. The bottom shelf, it's a little bit arbitrary, but it's 17 inches from the floor. The top of the shelf is 17 inches from the floor, and the depth is 16 inches. The top shelf is from the top of the workspace to the bottom of the 2x4 is 30 inches. So this is about 34 inches to the top of here from the top of the workspace, and then it's 12 inches deep. And that's important because it allows us to have recessed lighting, and then it also allows us to, like, the depth of the football, the depth of different tool holders. They're really not much more than 12 inches. A universal rule in shop space lore is that every horizontal surface gets covered with crap. That's just how it goes. So I really wanted everything to be wall mounted, and that's why I built this backer, because I wanted everything to be off the surface. Since there's no windows in here, we were very particular with the lighting that we chose and selected for the space. So we used a pack of Barina 4-foot, 4,000 Kelvin LED strips for all the recessed lighting. And then for the boss stitch office lamps, we use 6,000 Kelvin LED bulbs. These are HDPE mats that are 1/10 of an inch, which converts to 2.3 millimeters. They are not technically self-healing mats. They're basically made of the same thing that milk jugs are made of. This is a really nice self-healing mat. I would love to have the entire work surface be perfectly fit and cut up self-healing mats, but these work fine for right now. One thing that I really do like though is these tool holders. They are custom built for each tool. I know it's silly to have a custom tool holder for a $10 caliper, but I like it. And there's no really good way to hang this and not have it on the surface of the workbench, and I don't want it there. So what I do is I take the tool and I trace it, and then I cut that out with a leatherworking knife, and then I trace that on a piece of plywood, and then I cut that out with a scroll saw. And it took a couple tries. I had to get a specific scroll saw that cuts plywood. Speaking of plywood, the plywood that I used was 3/4 inch ACX plywood. I used 9 sheets, most of which went to the surfaces. The scraps, I tried to keep it 48 inches long so that I could use it for the attic space sitting above me. Up here is our attic space. It's 12 inches from the ceiling. It's 48 inches deep, and it holds all of our leather sides and any long tools that we have that we, like I said before, don't want on the floor. I really like this attic space for a couple of reasons. It allows for recessed lighting. It also keeps our leather sides super organized so that they stay protected out of the sun and out of trouble. Let's go over some of the sentimental things that I have on the wall. Here's a picture of me and my wife. Very sweet. Aww. This, it looks like it's decoration, but it's really not. It's actually a conversion chart for millimeters to ounces to irons to fractional that I use with my caliper to know how thick leather is and things like that. This is my harmonica. I love that thing. Sometimes I just play it. If you're wondering, it is a Hohner blues harp in the Keepsy. These plants, they make me happy, and they are golden pothos. They work really well with the lighting that we have in the shop. I was gonna put grow lights, but they don't need it. They've been in here for 3 months now, and they're growing and they look great. This here is a $2 bill, a fake one, that Casey Neistat sent to me in 2013. We were pen pals for a little bit, and that was really fun. I've drawn a lot of inspiration from Casey. I don't know if you've seen his workshop in New York City, but him and who he apprenticed with when he was younger, Tom Sachs, and his brother Van, they're rad, and I love the way that they create things. That's a big inspiration to me. This here is a note that the USPS worker who would service our house wrote to me when we moved. It's very sweet. I think it's important that we care for people like that. I really do. That note inspires me and reminds me to be humble and to care for the people that maybe are easily forgotten about. This is a bow tie, but not just any bow tie. This is the first template that I ever made. I think I made it for prom, I think 2012 or 2013. I got an idea for this project, and something inside of me just turned on that, hey, I don't have to buy some of this stuff. I can make it. Or a reminder to me to think about all the things that we've made and how far we've come from, from making wooden bow ties. I have several tools that my grandfather gave to me, which are very dear to me. One of them being his wing divider, another being this is actually a Japanese woodworker's marking knife. You can use this as a leatherworking knife, just as a draw knife, and I have in the past. It's made out of walnut, and it has brass pins, and it has his initials carved in it, and it's one of my favorite things that I hold on a daily basis. This is also something that's really special to me. This is actually a carving that my great-grandmother gave to me as a wedding present. And my grandpa carved this in 1999. He was a very talented wood carver, and I was young when he stopped wood carving due to dementia. Yeah, this is just very special to me. He has hundreds and hundreds of carvings, but I'm satisfied with this one because that one's one of my favorites. When you order a product from Soulcraft, whether that be a bifold, an AirPod case, a notebook, a football wallet, a handbag, it came from this shop. We made it in this space. So we're very proud to make our products here in the US with the best quality materials that we can, and we stand by our lifetime guarantee. I hope you found this video helpful. As a craftsman, your workspace is never really done, but we're really happy with where our space is at, and it's always a work in progress. But thanks for watching.